Reinforcing an entryway door for security and code compliance requires knowing both the hardware limits and local building requirements. Start by assessing the door type and frame material. Solid core wood, metal, and fiberglass each react differently to reinforcement hardware, so pick long throw bolts and longer screws to anchor into the framing studs rather than just the jamb. Measure and mark precisely where plates, strike boxes, and hinge reinforcements will sit. Then pre-drill pilot holes sized one size smaller than your screws to avoid splitting wood and to ensure maximum torque transfer. When installing a reinforced strike plate, use screws that penetrate at least 2.5 inches into the stud framing behind the jamb. Short screws only bite into the jamb and give a false sense of strength. For frames with metal studs, use self-drilling toggle-style anchors rated for shear loads, or retrofit a wood reinforcement block behind the jamb to accept standard screws. Follow the manufacturer torque and installation guidance, and tighten hardware incrementally while checking door swing to prevent binding, which can compromise both security and egress. Always document your work with photos and receipts so you can show inspectors exactly what was installed and where. Common mistakes start with using screws that are too short, which leaves the strike plate anchored only to the jamb. Fix this by replacing them with long screws that reach the studs. Another frequent issue is failing to check local codes, so a modification could unintentionally block required clearances or change the door swing. Avoid this by contacting your city or county building department before you start and asking whether a permit or specific egress standards apply. People also over-tighten or misalign hardware, causing the door to bind and fail to latch properly. Correct this by loosening, realigning with your marks, and tightening gradually, while testing the latch and closure repeatedly. BigHomeProjects.com connects homeowners looking for trusted local contractors with contractors seeking work and project leads. We also host an active discussion community where homeowners and professionals share questions, local code tips, and installation experiences, so we all learn from each other.